Hey guys, Thomas the Slow Genie here, aka Mustached. I'm here to review the movie Don't Speak. And if you end up enjoying this review, then consider joining my Patreon page. Any donations will be desperately needed. With that out of the way, let's jump right into the review. So, this title seems awfully familiar. Sounds like Don't Speak, or Don't Talk, oh wow, I just said the title of the movie, but I meant to say, the other one. But, in terms of actual, movie, it does seem to follow the premise of A Quiet Place a lot closer. I think, we have ourselves a little bit of a copycat. But hey, I get it. Sometimes you feel like you want to tell your own version of a story. And for all intents and purposes, they do add their own little bits and pieces here. Like, they tell you that the creature was made, and it says it wasn't supposed to escape, so it's an escaped creature. It does follow the rule of if you make noise, it will find you. So on and so forth. But I am getting a bit ahead of myself, as I'm going to recap in order of what happens, as well as review the movie. So, we start the movie with some mom, I'm not sure whose, is doing some chores, and the daughter comes in to try to help her. All the while, the daughter heads outside, and she's like drying her clothes, and she hears some odd noises in the distance. And she suddenly sees a strange-looking creature behind her. She screams out and is attacked. And the mom is looking around for her daughter, Carol. So she heads outside very briefly and heads inside and starts to panic. So she goes to her drawer and pulls out a gun, and she drops her bullets. And by the time she tries to pick them up, the creature is already there. She attempts to shoot, but we cut to our title crawl. Jump ahead to our new mother character named Rita. For the simplicity of this, I'm just going to call her the mom, or mom. And you'll probably understand why in a moment, because all the other characters, I have no clue what their names are, honestly. She has her husband, a son, a daughter, and the daughter's boyfriend. Those are the characters whom we are following throughout the rest of the movie, or at least some of them. So all the while the mom is talking, we see that the son is trying to help, and we cut to the sister. Actually, I did get to catch the sister's name at least. Her name is Charlie, and the boyfriend's name actually I also got, so never mind. His name is Ty, but we only hear their names like once, so that's exactly why I decided to just leave it at their title names or whatever. They all head out after some of the arguing, and they decide that the boyfriend can come along as long as he behaves. So, the brother checks in with the dad and the mom after the fact, and the sister checks in with him after that, and she's talking about how he's getting ready for college, and that how he knocked somebody up. I don't know who, but she's like, oh, are you gonna tell him or whatever? And he's like, oh, I don't know. So anyways, they eventually reach the house, and the mom's looking around trying to find her mom, the grandma of of the group. They find it empty, so the mom and dad are a little bit, So they check next door. And they also see that area is empty after a bit. See, the neighbor is gone. Again, a little bit odd. And there's also no signal, no phone signals in this area whatsoever. So the son is like, I should probably go help them. But they soon discover that their cars will not start now. So, the three of them, the dad, the mom, and the son, decide to walk to the shop. They enter the town area, and we see that the son and the mom find blood. And the husband finds blood, or a bloodied man. So now they have a corpse on their hands. So the three of them have encountered death. You would think, yeah, they might not have a vehicle, but they could probably just run out of the town. I mean, it probably wouldn't be the craziest trek. I think, I'm not sure where they were in terms of, like, area. So I'm not sure if, running out would have been the best idea, but honestly, it probably would have been a lot better than a lot of the decisions they did make, honestly. So anyways, the sister, for the first stupid decision of the movie, she decides to randomly head out by herself into the woods, just for whatever reason, just leave her boyfriend. Try to figure that one out. She gets to the barn and within moments notices this creature, and she's like looking at it like, oh, but she's not making a noise, so it's like she almost knows. But then she breaks this glass, and she, hides from the creature at the end of the barn, and she drops another item and falls back. So she gets a closer look at this creature. By the way, the creature is actually not CGI, and I will give credit. It's actually a person in a costume, because I'm pretty sure that's the case, because at the end of the movie you can see the creature is credited by someone, so I'm assuming that who that someone was inside the costume. So I'm assuming it was all a costume throughout the entire movie. So I will give them that credit. They actually went old school on the creature. And if it wasn't obvious, the creature is the thing on the top of the poster. Or at least that's the top half of it. So, she's like slowly backing away. It's like she understands the rules immediately, but other times she doesn't understand the rules. It's very inconsistent. So she finds her grandma, all cocooned up. And the dad, we cut back to him, who's freaking out still. After seeing that body, and the brother, I mentioned, the sister, the brother and the mom see the body as well. So you see that the creature is attacks the sister, like slashes at her, and then proceeds to spit in her mouth. So we all know that's not a good sign. So she manages to scramble her way out, though, at the time. She manages to get to her boyfriend, who sees her all bloodied up, and he's like, she's like, go get in the van or something, and he's like, what happened? And he keeps saying it, like, he says it like 3 or 4 times, like, what happened, what? Like, get in the fucking van first, for fuck's sake. And we see the boyfriend, again, another stupid decision, just asking what happened 4 times, and then get tackled by the creature. It's like, yeah, you kind of deserve to get tackled after only asking what happened when your girlfriend's trying to tell you to get in the fucking van. But then again, she didn't listen to him either earlier on, or she just sort of left him earlier on, so what is their relationship status? I don't know. So yes, the boyfriend is tackled. And so, she does not close the door, or I think she kind of leaves it open for a while anyway. Meanwhile, the dad, son, and mom all start to walk back instead of, running. I think they run. I put we're walking in my notes, but maybe I misremember. But anyway, nonetheless, yeah, she does cut back to the sister who did close the door, so the creature is on the roof, or at least it's presumed because we hear the noises above. And the other three return. So the dad sees the creature, and then he's like, oh. And he gets the others to rush to the house. And he's going with them as well. And he notices how the creature was not going after them immediately, and he proceeds to click in that the creature is based off of sound noise. So the sister is stuck in the van now, is trying to open the back window, and it's not helping her situation out in the least. All the while, the dad says that he's going to sneak out very quietly and try to get to the sister to get her out of her situation. So he does indeed get to her surprisingly successfully. But unfortunately, noises are made enough to the fact where the creature grabs the dad, and the sister runs back to the house. So it's a sacrificial moment. That seems familiar. I'm pretty sure that happened in a quiet place. But the relatives being different, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so the dad is moved to another location. All the while, the son and mom talk rather openly down the stairs, while the sister is placed upstairs with all of her injuries. And the mom explains all the rules that the husband / dad explained to her. And she talks about how this was a potential test zone, because we saw it earlier in the movie, this fence that they passed by. So the mom is trying to suggest that the son stay there to look after the sister as she heads out. While that's going on, the brother's trying to look after his sister, but the sister spits on him with the same goopy white stuff. And later on, we cut to her down the stairs, and she's has a knife to her arm where one of the gashes were, and we see her trying to prod out these little orb things that are forming in her skin. So the mom makes it back to the barn, and we see the sister trying to continue to prod her own skin. All the while, the creature moves in on the grandma. All the while, we see the sister still digging, and the mom pops up in the area. So she got into the room with the grandma, and it was, for whatever reason, she decides, because she's in this huge bucket thing, it's huge enough that she can plummet herself in the water, which she does so? Why would she do that? She was silent beforehand. Why would she need to go in the water? All the way in. She made noise splashing out. And the second time she does it twice. She literally does it twice, and the second time she ends up screaming. Again, another really stupid decision she makes. But the brother happens to have gotten there he managed to run all the way there, and he screams as well, so the creature is like, oh, which sound am I going for? But the creature the brother heard second, so goes after the brother. But the brother is preemptively tackled, and we see it's the dad. So the mom discovers that the grandma has her own gash in her stomach, and that if she probably gets let out, she probably won't make it. So the mom heads out all distraught, and the brother randomly and poorly drops something, and the creature topples him. So the dad claps to distract the creature from mauling the brother. And instead, the dad is able to take the sacrifice once more, and is mauled or clawed as his son just sort of sits there and waits and, is freaking out. If I were in that situation, yes, I would freak out, but I would probably also move. I don't know. The creature seemed a little bit preoccupied. So while that's going on, the mother screams, and she has a shovel with her, and she drops it. Not that could have been used as a potential weapon or anything. And she goes all the way back to the RV, and hides inside the restroom. And she's crying, so she keeps crying, and the son is crying for his dad. And the mom's crying causes the creature to pop in and kill her, by the way. So the son is the only one left at this point in time. So the morning comes. We cut back to the morning, and we see the son make his way back to the sister, and she's already gone. So the son finds the gun that was there the entire time. When they were inside the house, looking around, I'm kind of shocked that they didn't come across this. He goes to the RV to see the mom is cocooned up. But it doesn't really matter. The gun was empty anyway, so... Not that really actually mattered all too much, but nonetheless, the military is suddenly there from out of nowhere with a helicopter, so a literal Deus Ex Machina. And I say literal because I know people tend to sometimes misuse the phrase Deus Ex Machina. Machina meaning machine. So I do have I have that quirk of, like, when people misuse Deus Ex Machina, I try to use that phrase properly. So this is actually a Deus Ex Machina. A helicopter, a machine, comes to help them out of nowhere. That's what that means in a movie, anyways. Again, I'm not a fan of when people misuse that phrase, and I want future reviewers to learn what that actually means and use it correctly. So anyways, the military men, we see them moving in, and we see at the end of the movie that the brother looks at his arm, and we see his own little pebble things forming out, so he tears up because he knows where that's going to end up leading. That's where the movie Don't Speak ends. Boy, oh boy, did this movie have a lot of characters doing a lot of dumb things. Whew. I think this movie makes A Quiet Place look a little bit more, how do I say, competently made. By comparison, anyways. I know that there have been a lot more people poking and prodding at A Quiet Place recently. The whole waterfall thing, like, why wouldn't they move to the waterfall or closer to the waterfall to avoid the creature finding them? The movie never really does answer that, so I get that criticism, and I'm pretty sure there are a few more, but that's the one that immediately pops to mind. But I do find that the rest of the movie still pretty competent from what I can remember from it. It's been a while since I've seen A Quiet Place, so Um, by comparison, I think this movie does not do it as well. A lot of dumb mistakes are made. A lot of character moments are just really poorly utilized. Characters making really dumb decisions and it coming completely out of nowhere. Um, the sister going out on her own for whatever reason. The boyfriend being like, "Oh, I'm just gonna stand out here when my girlfriend's all injured up and she's saying to leave." Um, things of that nature. The mom going into the bucket, um, even though she was already quiet, so that was unnecessary. She does it twice. She does it twice. Oh. So a lot of dumb decisions. The characters themselves aren't really well developed either. Uh, again, I do give credit that the creature is actually there. It's actually a person in a costume. But, that's more visual stuff, so I do give it that credit, but it's not that much credit. So, and I don't understand how the Deus Ex Machina happened. Sometimes in other frames of reference, Deus Ex Machinas are sometimes set up a little bit more. Sometimes. More oftentimes they do some come out of nowhere, but, if there could have been like an offline little moment line of one of the men coming in and be like, "We're here to, get the creature that escaped or whatever." Something to tell us that they were looking for the creature. Something along those lines. Again, a really smaller thing, but, other than that, again, there are a lot of dumb mistakes. The characters aren't well developed. Ergo, I really didn't find myself investing in the characters because of all the stupid decisions and because of their lack of development throughout the movie. So I'm going to give this movie a 3 out of 10. Or even a 2 out of 10. It's not that good. And that's my review of Don't Speak. And if you ended up enjoying this review, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure to check out those links in the description. One will head you over to my Discord server. The second will head you over to my Patreon page. Any donations are desperately needed. And until next time, everyone, bye-bye.